Dear friends, welcome. Today, Wednesday, May 13th, the 19th day of Iyar, the 34th day of the Omer, and our 42nd installment of the Corona Inspiration series. And today I want to address the issue of fear and anxiety, because a lot of what's going on now, that there's a tremendous amount of fear and a lot of anxiety that is being built up and people are experiencing. And very often, we all of a sudden face a new situation, which is what happened basically. Life was moving forward, everything was gung-ho, people had their plans. This one was doing this one was going here, this one had their summer plans, this one had their simcha plans, this one had their plans of building their business, this one had their plans of just generally what they were going to be doing. And all of a sudden, the train stops and everything has to stop. And all of a sudden, you can't go to work. There is no work. And all of a sudden, you have to stay home and quarantine. And then now we're listening all the time to the news, and the news itself is not so clear. There is many different things that we're hearing. On one hand, we're hearing, we're going to be brave and get out of this mess and get back into some kind of normalcy, and then we pull back. So these things create a lot of fear. The fear is, where are we heading? What's going to be tomorrow? And obviously this creates, along with it, a lot of anxiety of how we're going to deal with it and how we're going to pay the bills. And those who have older parents who are living in different homes and how we're going to look after them. And the list goes on and on of the fears and anxieties. And at some point we sort of resign ourselves to the situation we're having, and maybe fear comes a little bit less, but anxiety grows. And then the more we hear, we're not sure when it will open up. We're not sure what it will look like. And even if it does open up, things won't look the same. You will not be able to go to gatherings. The question is, will synagogues even open up in places where public gather together in what some call non-essential, even though synagogue is an essential part, because being mentally healthy is very, very important as well, and community is important. Obviously, ensuring that we do not spread the virus and follow all of the social distancing rules. But if someone could go to business, can they not come to a place where they draw spiritual strength and mental strength? So there is that constant buildup of fear and anxiety, and this is what a lot of people are dealing with. And this can become very detrimental, because if our anxiety levels go up, it becomes a danger to us. It hurts our immune system, it plays with our brain, and it can take us down a bad path and could lead to depression, etc., etc. And the one thing we want to ensure, that though we are in a situation, we do not allow fear, panic, or anxiety to take us over. It's interesting, in Judaism, there is no room for fear and anxiety. When we face an issue, a problem in Judaism, we do not allow fear and anxiety to take us over. We are encouraged to look at the situation, look at the issue, and deal with the issue. If, God forbid, someone is out of a job, the question is, how do I get another job? That is the real question. How quick can I get another job? What type of a job should I take? Will I take something that has less pay for now? Or do I only want something that's equal? And all of these questions that you can ask, which are proper questions, but they have to be dealt with as an issue. The minute there is anxiety and fear within yourself, all of a sudden you have magnified the issue to a point where now it seems almost insurmountable. It almost seems like it's going to be way too much for us to handle. And it's interesting that in this week we read in the Torah portion, Bahar Sinai, that God gave us a mountain in life. That's the Torah. God said, You got to climb a mountain, but that mountain is Torah. It's a mountain of something that's real, that's valuable, that every step you take in the mountain, you bring into your life something that has eternal value. That's the mountains we want to climb. But to create mountains out of molehills, to create anxiety, meaning to add to the issue just the sense of worry and concern and stress, doesn't deal with the issue better. On the contrary, it makes it much more difficult for you to deal with the issue because you're dealing with the emotional aspect of it, which it's very hard to deal with. It's not tangible. So the Torah warns us, do not get anxious and worried. Don't allow stress to come into your life. A little bit of stress is always healthy. It brings us a sense of urgency that we got to go do something. But beyond that, stress takes us down. It's not a positive in our life. And anything or feeling that takes you down is not sanctioned by the Torah. It's not sanctioned in Judaism. Only feelings that lift you up, that motivate you, that encourage you. It doesn't mean we shouldn't be real and we should fool ourselves in some kind of a fantasy. That's absolutely not what Judaism expects either from you and I. But you have to be realistic about the issue and deal with the issue only. So sometimes when you're facing an issue, before you let the anxiety and stress take over, question yourself, what's the worst case scenario? And then build from there. Okay, this is the worst case scenario. So now how am I going to deal with it? What is the next step I'm going to do? So I don't get to the worst case scenario. So I'm going to be better off. It allows you to think clearly. It allows you to move forward. You don't feel heavy. You don't feel down. And this is so important in our time to ensure we don't have stress and anxiety. And I'll tell you the antidote in Judaism. Besides faith, which is really the key, you have to believe. When you believe, you know that God didn't abandon you. He never abandons us. He's with us all the time. He has our back. Though we're going through hard times, He has our back. He's giving us the strength from behind. But we got to do our part from ourselves. So when you are facing issues, strengthen your faith, which is very, very crucial and important. But prayer is a very important part. Pray every day. The rabbis already set out our prayers. There's morning, afternoon, evening, shachris, mincha, ma'ariv. Even if you end up saying your own few words of prayer. Obviously, as a Jew, we should say what the rabbis instituted. Say the Shema every day, at least once in the day and once at night. Add prayer, you'll find that prayer is like a child talking to their parent. Prayer is a child talking to their parent. Prayer is the element of putting your head on the shoulders of God and saying, God, give me the strength to make through it. I'm going to go through it, but give me the strength. That is what you have to do. And let's get fear, anxiety, and stress out of our lives. You'll find your life will be so much more blessed. So I bless you and have a great day. Bye-bye.